Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Hunter x Hunter. It is episode 32 and you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses dot parts with real dots and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, this episode was more neither an explanation of how this fight ended and how Hisoka turned it around, which he did pretty brilliantly, no question there. A lot of information about the usage of Nen, of Ren, of everything that is included here. Some more informations about the Phantom Troop, which is interesting, and Hisoka on the prowl. So let's see what's going on. So first in this episode we started off with Hisoka very nonchalantly playing with his severed arm. Which I think I discussed it last time already, means that he has like complete control over his injuries and the meaning of feeling pain. Because normally if you get your arm ripped off like that, I mean it is not even cut off like with a sword, it is ripped off with bare hands. That should be excruciating pain. And he does not care. So he's able to possibly use his abilities to suppress the pain. And then everything that he does is distracting his opponent. And I think that is the major thing here in this fight that did cost Castro the fight. He allowed Hisoka to distract him. He allowed him to talk. He allowed him to do magic tricks. If he would have just attacked further, pressed his advantage, he would have won. And I discussed it last time. His playing with Hisoka, the fact that he wanted to show off, did cost him this fight. If he would have gone in with his powers, with his abilities, on the first attack, it would have been over. And there might have been a chance that Hisoka did not even get how it happened. And no one would have, and he would be unbeatable for a specified amount of time, right? Until someone finds out. But no, he wanted to show off. Thus, his ability was analyzed, and then in the beginning of this episode, even after this was analyzed, he did not attack further, he did not press on. Instead, when Hisoka started playing with his arm, you know, throwing it in the air and everything, started with his card trick, he let him. And while doing so, Hisoka was able to test additional stuff to check, as we learned in the end of the episode. So he was able then to test if he can attach those strings towards him, which he could. So it is Castro's mistake. He is to blame. I do understand why. I do see that especially someone like Hisoka has this weird ability to bring others out of balance mentally. But it's his mistake. So he started off with this mathematics numbers. And in the end, this is what it's about, right? You try to be focused on a fight, you try to be focused on a goal, and your enemy is like, yeah, here, look, that's my arm, right? Which I think Castro shouldn't be surprised about. The ability to suppress the pain is not so abnormal, I guess. And the next thing is he gives him this mathematics question, which has no other reason than to distract you, because in your mind you're like, okay, what does that make? I can do that. But as Hisoka said later on, his brain ability, his RAM, his full amount of memory capacity is already used by the double. So additionally, putting in some mathematics to make sure he's not thinking about anything else in this moment is the first step. Then he draws a card out of his arm. Whysoever he does that, it's just additional to the, you know, he's moving all the time, moving his hands, distracting you, talking to you about nonsense. While doing so, he is actively doing something else and you don't realize it. typical magician. Most of the especially card tricks are about distraction and about sleight of hand, and that is what he's doing, distracting the enemy with his card trick and his talk, and sleight of hand in the meaning of attaching the strings in the same time while he moves his hand, just and he can see, because he is not caught off guard anymore, that Castro is not realizing what he's doing. So, and this gives him the upper hand in the fight in the end. When then he's able to see through the double, so he is kind of able to block it. Additionally, he does this stuff which we learn in the end about the rubber gum, which is a cool ability, very interesting. And this texture surprise. So he, for many opponents, it would have seen as though his arm grew back by magic or whatever, right? But Castro did see through that. So there was a short moment when he was about to recover, when he realized, I was fooled, I was played, I was not able to completely understand what was going on. And so there, additionally to that, I think in this moment the double was gone, so there was a chance for him to recover, to have his full memory capacity back, to look. But Hisoka played him again and ended it there with the hit on the chin and everything else, right? So this fight would have been a win for Castro, but Hisoka turned it around by not using fighting abilities, but by using psychology, by being able to get into his mind, into the mind of his enemy, to confuse him, to frighten him, to analyze him. So that is something that in every fight will be important and will be of danger. And I really hope they keep it up for him, because Hisoka is an incredible, interesting, and fascinating character. Incredible powerful, but with his very own agenda. He's in many ways, I wouldn't say he's not a bad guy. He just goes by his own standards and ideals, and he does not care about the world at all. So he's going against good guys, killing them if they're interesting for him. But as we know now from the end of this episode, he goes against the evil ones as well, because if they're interesting enemies, he will hunt them as well, because he just wants to have a challenge. So, in many ways, he is chaotic evil, right? Because, just like the Joker, he's doing evil things because he does not care about the world. He does not care about what is right and what is wrong. He goes by his own standards and just wants to have fun. I hate to admit it, but I really like him. He's a cool character. I really like that. I mentioned it already during the reaction. He did not kill Castro. So although he talked in the past that he has the ability to, or had the ability to become a worthy opponent, we've seen that many he killed. However, he spared Castro. Does he hope he's getting better somehow? Or why is he doing it? I'm not completely sure about what he's doing there. And we've seen it in the past that he kills opponents he thinks worthy. But after seeing what he did in this fight, the ones that he killed in the past, I don't know if they are worthy to him. It seems to me a little bit like he gives them one chance, He beats them once, and very, very properly, as he did with this axe-throwing or clave-throwing guy in the tower. You remember? He beat him in the past as well. So when they come back and try to attack him, to kill him, then he goes full force against them. Then he's not holding back. I'm not sure. We will see. I mean, this is an environment in this tower where he possibly cannot or shouldn't kill someone because many people would see it, and he would possibly, I'm not sure if he would lose his license there, but if he goes for a kill on purpose, I don't know. How so much about the fight. Then we had the scene afterwards, which was really interesting with this female. So she has the ability to stitch your limbs back on, and Hisoka dropped his aura, and that is interesting because that's a matter of fact. That's a question of fact. If you drop your aura, you are like you're dropping off your armor in front of someone who's holding a gun, right? She is a user. She's a user of Nen, so she could have tried to use this moment to attack him, which she didn't. He played to her that he was a member of the Phantom Troop. Okay. However, he was able to do that. And she stitched on both arms, and it cost 70 million. And he said, I will send it later. So, seeing that he's not a real member and he doesn't care about them, maybe he doesn't even send it. Who knows? But there was a moment when he felt nice, if you know what I mean. Like, he was close to her, like he was friendly, something like that. And I asked myself how much of that, possibly everything, was a play again. How much of it was to act towards her though, so that she trusts him. It felt like that, and even dropping his aura, his so that she can stitch on, possibly was that as well. He got the information that they will gather at another date, and he has to be there because every Phantom Troop member has to be there, or possibly the boss will hunt them down. So there's the thing I ask myself now. Is he a member? And in this time when you get your number embroidered on your back, did he then use the rubber to not get it stitched onto his own body, but instead on it? And now he just dropped it because he, thinks it's time to hunt them? Which I kind of doubt, because that would mean that he had to go through the boss. Because very likely when you're becoming a member of those very elite circle, you will face the boss and every one of them, and there's a good chance that they will see through you, even as powerful as Hisoka is. Or, and I think that's more like it, they do not know each other, at least not all of them each other, except for the boss, I guess. And he killed off number 4. Or he just acts as though he's number 4 towards her because she doesn't know it, and he has the number tattooed on his back. I mean, we've seen someone else who had the number on his back. This, not the number, but the spider without the number. So is he just playing her? I guess we will learn. He ended off by saying that he's going after someone else now. So a new prey. Ask myself if it is her. And if so, why? I mean, she knows something about him, and he was very open about some specific abilities and his past towards her. So maybe it's this silence, the knowing one. Or just because she has cool abilities and that's why he wants to face against her. Or is he going after the Phantom Troop in general? He has new goals to go for, and we've seen Gon and Killua in this moment, so he really, really is looking out for those two boys to be interesting in the future, but that will take some time. So is he hunting down the Phantom Troop now, or what is it? We will see. However, it was a really good episode, a really interesting episode, and it gave me a lot of new informations about Hisoka, which is very good. So, by far, by now, one of the best set villains I've seen so far in series, because they really take their time of showing him a bit more, of showing how he's acting, how he's working. It's one of those sad things in movies especially, that if you have a villain and you set him up then you finish him in this movie itself. So that's the difference. What if you look what DC does as example in their comics, the villains don't get killed, right? Just see Batman, right? So Batman and the Joker and Mr. Penguin and Freeze and all of them, he just arrests them every time. He beats them, he arrests them. They're put into Gotham prison, and they later on they come back. So you have a reappearing villain who is getting stronger. He learns more stuff. Who's bringing new and interesting ideas. So, and if you then have a look at the movies, you bring in a villain and then you kill the villain. Very, very often right now the problem. And then he's gone. And you're like, so what? I need a new villain. It's the typical problem of movies because you whysoever have to kill them to have him completely finished. Just look at Thanos. He was a fantastic villain in Marvel, in Avengers, but whatever. That's one setup of a villain which I like. Create an believable character with his very own agenda, so that you can at least partially understand what he's going for, feel some strange kind of sympathy. And that is what Hisoka is right now. He's growing every time more and more. He's getting more interesting. I grew more interested to learn about his past and why he is as he is. And yeah, he has this very strange relationship with the boys right now. We will see where this is going. That's it for me this time. I enjoyed. I hope you did as well. So until the next time, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name's Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.